Before we begin our presentation, let me introduce myself. My name is Amalia and you can call me Manda. Hi everyone, what's up? I hope you have a great day. In this video, I like to give you about narrative text. But this time, I like to give material through GNAR application. This application will take us to learn about narrative text. Okay, before that, you know what narrative text is? Now, it's clearer for us to be able to click this application on the list and then click definition. Okay, narrative text. This type of text is often found in the form of fairy tales, legends, myths, folk tales, novels, and so on. Narrative texts are characterized by the presence of a clear plot or storyline, the use of descriptive words to develop the atmosphere and character of the characters, and the use of past tenses to describe events that have passed. Okay, let's move on to the genre of narrative text. So, we will click back on the lower left corner and click the genre of narrative text. Okay, there are 4 genres of narrative text. For the first, story about animals that we have like humans, which often conveys a moral message. An example is the story of Cikanchu and Crocodile. And then a story from the past, especially about gods or heroes, which provides an interpretation of the origins of the universe. And then an ancient folk tale that tells the origins or historical events or places. An example of a story famous in Indonesia is story like Toba, and then magical story that is usually read to children before bed. This story could be just a fantasy. Okay, we like to turn to the social purpose of the narrative text. This is social purpose of the narrative text: to amuse, entertain, and to deal with actual or serious experience in different ways. Narrative deals with problematic events which lead to crisis or turning point of some kind, which in turn finds a resolution. Okay, now this is the most important part before we write narrative text. Yep. Generic structure. Okay, we will click back in the lower left corner and click the generic structure of narrative text. Okay, generic structure of narrative text has 3 is orientation, complication, and resolution. Orientation is set the scene and introduce the participant, and complication is a crisis of crisis, and resolution is the crisis or resolve for better or worse. If you click back after this, I have shown you about example of narrative text.
A little duckling was terribly unhappy because he thought he was the ugliest amongst all his brothers and sisters. Did not play with him and titillated the poor ugly duckling. One day, he saw his reflection within the water and cried, "Nobody likes me. I'm so ugly." He decided to go away from home and went far off into the woods. Deep within the forest, he saw a cottage in which there lived an old lady, her hen, and her cat. The duckling stayed with them for a few times, however he was sad there and shortly left. Once the winter set in, The poor duckling nearly froze to death. A peasant took him home to his woman and kids. The poor duckling was afraid of the kids and escaped. The ugly duckling spent the winter in a very marshy lake.
Finally, spring arrived. One day, the duckling saw a gorgeous swan swimming within the lake and fell in love with her. Then again he remembered how everybody made fun of him, and he bent his head down in shame. Once he saw his own reflection in the water, he was astonished. He wasn't an unsightly duckling any longer, but a handsome young swan. Now, he knew why he had looked so completely different from his brothers and sisters. They were ducklings, but I used to be a baby swan, he said to himself. He married the gorgeous swan and lived happily ever once.
Don't forget, when we read the narrative text, we need to find out the features language first. After we learn material about narrative text, let's return to the appearance of the menu to fill quiz. Click home and click quiz. Instruction: the quiz consists of 5 multiple choice questions. Choose the most correct answer among the 3 answer options provided. To pass the quiz, the minimum score is 100. If you are ready, click the start button. Okay, this is the question of the text in the example. Wait. Okay, your score 100%. Yay, you are the winner. Just for information, this editor of application is my team. Okay guys, thank you so much for your attention. Goodbye and thank you.